This episode of the podcast is dedicated to you, Jeff, and you, Jolie. May the force be with you always. Hey, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
We are working class nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right, we are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Thursday, August 31st, 2023, and you can find this 213 podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and anywhere you can find a podcast in the galaxy far, far away.
You can also find every single Working Class Nerds episode on YouTube. Just search for the Working Class Nerds podcast or go to youtube.com/@workingclassnerds. Click on playlists, click on Working Class Nerds, and boom! Every episode past and present right at your fingertips.
And you can watch me play video games Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays exclusively at kick.com/MarcusB814. You can watch A-Tracks play video games Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time because the East Coast is the best coast at twitch.tv/HA_A-Tracks.
And you can watch me play video games almost every single Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/NickVern51.
You can also find us all on the social medias. I am at MarcusB814.
Atrax is Atrax_A, and I am at Nick Vern. That's NACKVR. And in this week's episode, joining us this week is a fellow Nerds community member, an AIE guildie, a new Outriders guildie. You know him as Baron Von Dank, but we just call him Wes. So, welcome to the show, Wes. And what have you been up to?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I just been living life, playing the games, working. So I guess that does make me a working class nerd.
Absolutely.
Well, you do work, you play a lot of video games, but here's the thing that nobody knows. Wes goes to bed at like 8 in the morning and sleeps until 7 o'clock at night.
It's true.
He's full nocturnal. He's an owl.
Wow.
Yep.
That's why you get along with Atrax. That makes sense. I feel like not so much now that he with his job currently, but I feel like he was always like, I went to bed at like 4 last night before that.
Well, I mean, it wasn't intentional to be quite as nocturnal as I am now, but my body chose violence, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Do you work at night or anything?
I have been, just because, like, my work is kind of, as long as I get my hours in, it doesn't really necessarily matter when.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So, it's nice and flexible, so it lets me kind of do whatever time. I don't have to worry about, like, a fixed schedule or anything like that.
That's nice.
The thing for me is I'm such a social gamer that I love playing games with people, and if I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning my time, like, I don't think there would be anybody I know playing video games at 3 o'clock in the morning my time, except Atrax.
Well, I mean, there's not, but I mean, I like wake up in the evening and then get on and game with all my friends, and then they all go to bed. And I'm like, oh, okay, now no one's around, so it's time to work.
Wow.
That's sweet.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I couldn't either. I just, like, I like to be up during the daytime. I get all fucked up if I'm not. It's bad enough when it's like dark all the time because it's winter.
Well, the last couple days have been kind of weird. I've technically been getting a normal average amount of sleep, but it's been like 4 hours one day and then like 12 hours the next day, and like I don't even know what's happening anymore.
I can imagine.
See, I get like 4 to 5 hours every day.
I would not be able to live like that. I would just not. I would cease to function.
Yeah, I can't.
As Kitty calls it, I'm an alien.
Yeah.
I pretty much, I flew out. They dropped me off on my mother's doorstep when they took me out of the ocean because that's where my civilization lives, in all the uncharted parts of the ocean. And I arrived on a stork and on my mom's doorstep, and everything went downhill from there.
Oh yeah.
So what games have you been playing?
I mean, predominantly I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV with the AIE branch. Actually, on a raid team with Abovan, the branch director over there.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing the Savage raid, like the highest end. Well, I say highest end. There's technically one higher, but that's silly and for crazy people. But
wait, so you're doing the nightmare? Or are you doing the hard mode?
There, technically, it is nightmare equivalent. I mean, there's only two standard difficulties. There's the normal, and then there's savage. I would put savage in like where nightmare is in SWTOR, and then there is an extra challenge mode known as ultimate. And there's been I think there's been only 4 of those now in the entire game.
Wow,
5. And those are
stupid.
You are the top 1% of the 1% to complete that. They're 20-minute fights with 0 room for error.
Sure.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, it's I don't even know if when I watch someone do an ultimate raid, I'm like, am I even playing the same game? It's that ludicrous.
That's how I felt when I would watch Marcus do nightmare raiding in SWTOR. I would be watching. It's I really only did the story content. So seeing that, it's just all just rainbow explosions and colors and red circles and blue circles, and it's Marcus's character looks like he's playing DDR, Dance Dance Revolution, because he's hitting so many different moves.
Yeah. When it comes to just pure flash, the Final Fantasy fights, just SWTOR can't even hold a candle to it.
That's very true.
It's kind of crazy. You can actually turn off particle effects in the game and I don't, because I'm I have a nice shiny graphics card. I want to use it.
Right.
But a lot of people I know, most of my friends turn particle effects off so they can actually see what's happening.
That makes sense.
But aside from that, I still have been playing SWTOR occasionally. I still raid on the weekends on Saturday nights with new Outriders. We've been doing hard mode progression. Currently working on Temple of Sacrifice.
Fuck that. Nope. That's a hard no.
We are currently reprogging walkers. We had gotten past walkers during 6.0, but we haven't been back during 7.x. So we're still trying to get past the walkers again.
That's completely doable.
Yeah. And then of course there's the infamous Underlurker, who it's more up to, hey, does the server detect you where you're actually at, versus being able to actually beat the fight.
So I used to think that fight was hard. That one isn't as hard as the walkers. The walkers is a harder fight than the Underlurker. But Revan, never again.
I was gonna say, from what you've told me, I'm actually kind of excited to see Revan. Just to...
Wait, you've never done it?
I haven't gotten to hard mode Revan.
Are you tanking, healing, or DPS?
Tanking or deep. It depends on who we have tonight. I'm typically tank though.
Wait a minute. You don't have the same 8 people every week?
No.
Oh fuck you! Good luck in Revan.
Yeah, I mean Nor's not a hardcore prog team. We're just hey, here's our group. Let's see what we can clear.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with you and I disagree, and I'm not being a jerk, but that is not the raid you do that in.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
we're down to like the hard mares now, so it's like this is probably as far as we're gonna get in terms of like actual like clearing.
Yeah, you're almost better off doing what's the other one? With Torque. Master Blaster.
Oh, Ravagers.
Yeah, like you're almost better because you have so many fights before Master Blaster that you can work on and clear.
I'm trying to remember what percent we got Master Blaster to.
I remember beating it, and it was, you get this like awesome feeling, and it really comes down to how many cooldowns you have left. Mm-hmm. Like, if you don't have cooldowns, you're dead.
Yeah.
And
I remember we cleared it with that hard mode nightmare team that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And we got decently far on it with Nor, but we never cleared it.
Sure. Yeah, but it also is hard when you don't have the same team. And that's the difference between raiding in SWTOR and raiding in Destiny, where like Destiny's all about like the LFG group, where, you know, anybody can go in and clear the raid as long as you know the raid kind of thing. And you can, like, I don't want to say carry somebody, but you can teach somebody the mechanics really easy. That was the
shot. You guys carried me through the one. What was it on Europa or something? But the one that had like the big scrap bot at the end.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it Vault of Glass? The big robot at the end. Must have been Vault of Glass.
I did get carried through Vault of Glass once. I'm trying to think. This is the one you got the lightning katana from. And there was like a certain exotic rocket launcher that like Eyes or something.
Oh, Eyes of Tomorrow? Oh, that's Deepstone Crypt.
Yes, Deepstone's Crypt. I remember you guys carried me through that one.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's Destiny is the raids are more forgiving. Mm-hmm. Like they're built to be cleared, where like SWTOR, anything except story mode is not built to clear. They want you to fail.
Story mode R4, jeez. Like story mode R4. Have you been on to run R4 yet?
Honestly, like I talk myself into doing it, but then I talk myself immediately out of it. And go ahead.
I was gonna say the first 3 bosses are completely fine and actually very fun. Some of my favorite fights in the game, especially Watchdog. I love Watchdog. But Lady Dominique, that last fight can just it desperately needs something done to it for story mode.
On story mode?
Yeah, oh yeah. It took us 5 months to clear it on story mode.
Wow.
It's like they're trying new like mechanic tech and actually pulling a lot of it from Final Fantasy XIV, which I thoroughly enjoy. The only problem is SWTOR's netcode's kind of jank, which leads to a lot of issues trying to do more sophisticated mechanics.
Well, here's the thing: that's kind of why I haven't gone back and done it, because the game is in such a weird state right now. And it's been for, let's say, a year, that I'm afraid that, like, the bugs that are in the game now are it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're really, like, the communication that you're getting is, hey, the next game update's coming out in a week. Not, hey, everybody, like, after the content that we've been working on for 2 years, that we've been telling you about, comes out, we've got a giant expansion plan for 2026. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I feel like it's the radio silence makes me nervous. And in turn, I don't want to go back to the game and be worried that the game, because if I go back, I remember it. I went back for a night and I was having the best time. And I was in a flashpoint and I couldn't kill the boss of the flashpoint because it was bugged. I spent like an hour or 45 minutes trying to just beat the boss, and I thought I kept fucking something up. There's a game-breaking bug, but it's been in the game for a month. It was in the game for a month, dude. I lost my mind.
Are you talking about the Magus fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I haven't run that flashpoint since like doing it for the story because I don't know if that bug is actually fixed or not.
Well, so what I was told is you can't have a full inventory of quests when you go into that flashpoint because it uses 2 quest tabs to clear it. And because of that, that was the bug.
Interesting.
But like, for somebody who hadn't played the game in a month or 2 months or 3 months or 5 months, whatever it was, and I come back excited, and then that giant game altering bug, I think like that's not a good place to be in.
No.
As a gamer and a creator.
Because
but
like,
I do.
That's another thing is like you will go to lengths to like figure out what the issue is, whereas a lot of people will just be like, "Oh, it doesn't work," and then quit playing like instantly.
Quit, yeah, unsubscribe and quit playing. Because I have never run into a game-breaking bug in Destiny. Like, sure, I've gotten disconnected from the servers before, but that happens, right? Like,
yeah,
that's like a glitch in the Matrix. I can understand that, but I've never had a game-breaking bug that I couldn't do. Oh, actually, that's not true. I've had a bug in one of the things where we couldn't clear the activity because it bugged out one time. But I guess for me, the unknown of that game is so high right now that I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really, really hoping that Broadsword can pull something together. Because, like, from everything I've heard, and it's all rumor, so I'm not saying, like, any of this. Actually, I'm not even going to go into detail because I don't know if any of it's true or not. But, like, it sounds like the SWTOR team was very, like, shackled while still at BioWare. So, hopefully, under new management, things will be much more open. They can actually, like, make content. Of course, just the whole behind-the-scenes dealing with the transfer might have been, like, hampering things as well.
Well, okay, to defend both teams. So anytime a company merges with a company, people lose their job, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say Nick is the senior input director for the game, and he loses his job. He might have been the only one that worked on part 6 through 12 of the spaghetti code. And he's done that for 12 years. So they didn't have a guy that could figure out the spaghetti code. And then they transfer these companies, and now Wes, Broadsword employee, input director, has to figure out how to make this game work on a dinosaur engine.
Right.
I also have a feeling that's probably a lot of the reason behind the UI change was... I'm pretty sure I heard that the guy that originally made the UI for the game is long gone, like, even before there were any talks of handing it over to Broadsword, so, like, they were trying to start fresh again with something that, like, they knew how to work with.
Yeah, and employees come and go, right? That's the nature of the beast. I think I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Do I think they're going to be coming out with giant expansions? No. Do I think Broadsword is going to pay millions of dollars for the game and not update the game? No. I think Broadsword is going to put a lot of their baskets into this game because they just paid millions of dollars for it. But it's the two other games they have are like 30-year-old MMOs.
Yeah, that's what I told Intisar, was like, the silver lining is, even if we don't get any new content, we know SWTOR's not going anywhere. They've kept Ultima Online running for 25 years.
Right, and hopefully, but it runs better than it ever has because they've taken the time to update it.
Yeah.
Now, the big one for me is, will Broadsword update the server? Or the game engine. That's what it needs. If they updated the game engine and it ran better, that and made things a little simpler, I think that it would be leaps and bounds a better game.
The 64-bit client update already showed. I mean, it still has its issues and like performance issues. Like, you do 24-man world bosses, your frames are still dropping, but it's nowhere near as significant as it used to be. So, like, that was already a step in the right direction. So hopefully, like, as you said, if they eventually do an engine upgrade, hopefully we'll see some better stuff out of that.
But the one thing I can say that I miss the most from SWTOR are the people.
I mean, that's all that's keeping me playing at this point.
That's the thing, man, is I miss the people. But unfortunately, I have 3 to 4 nights a week I can play a video game, and I don't have time. I'm not, it's not a conducive time to go into that game.
Yeah.
But I miss, oh my God, there's so many awesome people that I used to game with that I don't get to. But at the same time, there's also a bunch of people I do because they all came over to Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of folks.
And that's the unfortunate thing, like, is the nights that you said, or the nights you said you're on able to play Destiny, then I'm usually up to something, or else I would have been on Destiny a lot more with you.
Right. And that's, yeah. But yeah, the people, and that brings us back to our pre-show conversation about being an extrovert. I used to when Call of Duty, I just go back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2. I played that so much because I was playing with my friends every day.
Yeah, you were just jamming.
And loved every single minute of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I playing Warzone with the paintball guys is like, I mean, I was never really into the battle royales, but like playing with the guys is actually really fun.
And
it makes a huge difference.
Well, it makes a huge difference. And when you stream it and you have people talking shit in the chat about it, it makes it even better.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I talk about, like, I've talked about stopping streaming for so long, like just taking a break, but then you miss. So then when I play the game, it's almost like I'm missing a part of my socialization.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Wes, what is the one game you're looking forward to this year?
I mean, I really haven't been like watching a lot of the upcoming releases, but I mean, obviously, I'm gonna be getting Phantom Liberty for Cyberpunk and playing that.
Nice.
Cyberpunk?
Yeah, they came out with a big expansion.
The DLC is finally coming out like 3 years later.
Wait a minute, is that a real thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to Steam.
Is it?
You hadn't heard about this previously?
No, Bomb Rush?
What?
Phantom Liberty?
Phantom Liberty, yeah.
Yes.
No, I know nothing about this. It looks so good.
So, like, when Cyberpunk was originally coming out, like, they were talking about, all this plans for DLC, multiplayer expansion, of course, then
then it's like, psych, nothing works.
The launch flopped. They canceled the multiplayer. Well, they even said the multiplayer wouldn't come out till after all the DLC came out, but now, like, 3 or 4 DLC or planned DLCs have kind of been
Jesus
My
What
fault.
is this, amateur hour over here?
Well, I forgot I have it so you guys can hear like what's on my internet.
Oh, you mean even though Atrax and I tell you every episode that all we hear is
Well,
ding,
I just didn't
ding,
click it off.
ding
I just
from your
didn't
Discord
click it off.
notifications.
I just didn't click it off.
Sorry, Wes, you were saying.
But yeah, like they had like 3 or 4 DLCs planned, and of course they're like, well, we can't really keep up with that schedule, so
Right.
hey, we're finally coming out with our DLC, Phantom Liberty, which I mean, it's kind of a shame. Despite its flaws, and fortunately I didn't have the performance issues, but that's me just being my privileged PC gamer snob that has a really high end PC that I bought specifically for the game.
Yeah.
What graphics card do you have?
That was
3080. I got it like right after the
That's what I have
3000
too.
series came out.
Nice.
That's what I have. That's what I have too. 3080, and then Marcus could not live in a world where I had a better running computer than him, so he found a 3090.
But just so you guys know, like I really have to upgrade my computer. It's starting to dog. Like,
Yeah, I was looking at processors today actually too. I was like,
well, no,
But
your
like-
processor should be fine, dude. Like
It's
your
fine.
processor is like top tier. You don't need a processor. All you need, you upgraded
No,
your
it's
RAM,
a- it's
didn't you?
yeah, I have 64 gigs of RAM now.
You have an i7 12 series.
10 series.
Yeah, see, I'm using a 9 series. I need an
9
upgrade.
series? Oh, that's old. Oh, is it an i9 though?
Yeah,
Yeah, but you got to do your motherboard at the same time, right? 'Cause it's a
everything.
yeah.
It's going to be like $800 to do it.
Well, you don't have to change your cooling system and fans and everything.
Yeah, you do,
Right.
because if I buy an i7, I can keep the same cooler. But if I buy another i9, I have to upgrade my cooler.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
I need a
this
new
is big-
motherboard, and I have to buy DDR5 RAM.
Right.
And like all bullshit, no bullshit. I bought the i9 and it sat here, and I didn't have the money for a motherboard, and I just returned it because I was like, "There's no point in sitting on this fucking thing. I need the
Yeah,
money."
because it's if you get 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM, that's more than $100.
That's a few $100.
Couple hundred, yeah, at least couple hundred.
Wow, this DLC. So just for the record, this DLC looks sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's that is one thing that, despite all of their flaws, that CDP or Project Red actually does like decent. I mean, the DLCs for The Witcher 3 are like universally praised, and like I think some people even consider the DLCs better than the actual game itself. And so I do have a lot of hopes for Phantom Liberty, despite the shortcomings of the way they handled Cyberpunk in general.
Yeah.
Because not only is they're coming out with the DLC and its expanded story, but then they're also like completely redoing the skill tree for the base game. Like even if you don't buy the DLC, you still get the whole new skill tree. And so I'm hoping there's like more interesting choices that you can pick in there, like new interesting gimmicks you can try out. Like I didn't watch all the streams, but apparently one of the streams was showing off like you can the monowire cyberware that you can get. Apparently, instead of just like hacking people to bits, you can like wrap them up in it and then quick hack through the monowire.
That's interesting.
So like even if you're not like going full like cyberdeck hacker build, you can still do quick hacks and stuff.
That's cool.
So 60, just so you know, 64 gigs of DDR5 is $215, and
there's some cheaper ones for on
yeah,
Newegg.
but you don't buy shitty RAM. This is the Corsair Vengeance 6400 speed.
But 64 is also like ludicrous unless you're doing.
Well, if you're
editing.
gonna go big, you're gonna do it.
Yeah, like that's the thing. So I taught Nick this, and I believe it. When you buy good stuff or high end parts, you're buying years of content, years of use.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where like my first video card was like delayed, like it was a year old when I bought it, and it was still like the bottom of the barrel. By the end of that first year with the PC, it sucked.
Mhm.
And then I bought my first Titan, and it lasted me 3 years.
Oh,
Right, but it was already
do the same
old.
thing. Yeah.
So then now I bought the 3090. When did the 3090 came out? What, 5 years ago? 4 years ago?
Yeah,
3.
I bought my computer during COVID time, so
Yeah.
Hold on.
It was-
I know.
I think. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it
sure.
was-
The 3090 came out in September 24th of 2020. I got mine in January.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
mine November.
Right. So you're talking the 3080 Ti came out June. Oh no. Yeah, so you're around September 20th.
I have a regular 3080.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
mine's regular.
So the
Same.
point I'm trying to make is, so I've been using my 3090 for 3 years. There is nothing wrong with my card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had before this my current build. My last build had a 1080 Ti in it, and I think I got that in 16. I want to say. And
Okay.
I mean, it ran fine. I actually sold it to my friend who's still using it, so that card's still rocking. Like, what now? 7 years later? Like,
Yeah, it came out. The 1080 Ti came out March 10th of 2017.
Oh, 17. So okay, so like 5 years later, or
Right.
6 years later, that
Yeah.
thing's still kicking.
Right, that's what I'm saying, and it's fine for some games. Like
Mhm.
obviously, your newer games are not going to run it well.
No.
Like I'm sure you can still play Starfield at a decent, a decent setting on a 1080 Ti.
Yeah.
I was running dually 1070 Ti's, and that was awesome.
Yeah, my most recent build, I wanted to upgrade for when Cyberpunk came out because I'm like, everything I'm seeing about this game is it looks so beautiful, and I want to be able to
Right.
play it at those max graphics.
Yeah. I think we should be able to.
And no, I
You
did.
definitely can.
I
Yeah.
definitely did. And
Oh,
it
sorry.
was actually very fortunate when I did order my PC and just how it happened, or the day it happened to arrive, because literally the day after it, my old motherboard just completely shit the bed and my old
Oh,
computer
wow.
died. So
Rip
it
that
was like
guy.
absolutely perfect timing.
Did you buy a pre-build?
This one, I did it through iBuyPower. So
Okay.
I picked all the parts and then I just had someone else put it together. Because I've built my own PCs before, and I've had my fun. The last one, I absolutely killed my back while I was leaning over it. So I just didn't want to put it together myself.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you at all.
The problem for me is when you buy a PC, I mean, you are paying big money. All right, let's look at this one. Best Buy.
Oh yeah,
Is-
I spent. I mean, this is also including monitors. I think I spent 3,400 on my last build.
This thing is
But,
okay.
I
So
mean-
here we go.
I'm still got, as long as things don't go wrong with it, I'm looking at a couple more years before I have to build a new. or
Right.
buy a
So
new
if
one,
so this is iBuyPower, Windows 11, i9, 13900KF. Oh, that's a shitty one. You want just the K, not an F. CPU Z790. That's a good motherboard. A 4070. 32 gigs of RAM. 2 terabytes of an M2. Liquid cooling. In stock, $2,000.
yeah. I mean, my logic is if I'm spending that much money, I'm spending a lot of money, but I use it every single day for hours on end, and it's going to last me 4, 5, 6 years.
More than that.
More, I mean, it could last more than that. At that point, I just want to upgrade because there's new stuff. But
Right.
Yeah, but at that point you can also buy a the hell am I trying to say? You can also upgrade that computer.
yeah,
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to installing the SSD I got. Pretty
I actually
pumped.
need to buy more RAM because of all of this concern of me buying all these other high end parts so that I could play Cyberpunk at max graphics. I was silly and still only put 16 gigs of RAM in the thing. So
No, I did too. I knew that was like just enough, but like not. But like I was gonna have to upgrade that. But I'm like, man, RAM's cheap. That's no big deal.
Yeah.
And then I'll do that. I'll address that when it comes up. And then it did, fairly recently. And,
I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, I mean, 16 is probably still good, and then like a couple months later, I'm starting to realize that no, that's not. We're getting into the part where people might want a bit more.
yeah, I noticed it when I was playing Jedi Survivor on stream. I was like, man, I'm like missing frames. I'm like, this is weird. Like my frame rate is like really variable. Like, and I was trying to play it on Jedi Grandmaster, like the hardest difficulty. And I was like, I could tell, like, sometimes I would dodge and, like, the timing would be the same, or, like, I'd parry and it wouldn't register. Like, it was weird. I was like, I don't know if skipping frames is the right word for it, but it was screwed up. So I was running, like, MSI Afterburner at the same time. My RAM was just maxed out. And I was like, oh, that's probably what's happening. I was like, I forgot. I only have 16 gigs of RAM.
I actually had a couple of friends try to get me to play, Star Citizen, and the game wouldn't even launch because it like wants 32 gigs of RAM just for itself. Like,
Jesus. I mean, I get it, but that's funny.
Hey, yeah, you can spend $1,600 on a ship that's not going to come out for like 4 years to be able to play this game that eats your computer.
Yeah, and then the devs will yell at you for wanting to go on and look at your ship, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it. I think it was Star Citizen where they had a press release where it's like so we're putting out content, but then people are only really logging on to look at their ship with the new content and then logging off. So in the first couple of days, like we're like reducing our server costs or something like that. It's like there might be really long queues to go look at your ship. And people are like, "What the fuck? Fuck you! It's all right. We can play the game wherever we want."
You're only the most funded game in video game history. Like you can afford some servers.
No kidding. Like I don't have any sympathy for your high server load at launch, like on launch days or whatever. But yeah, I upgraded to 64 gigs of, I don't know what speed, but I think it's DDR4, but I don't remember what. Just whatever fit with my whatever fit with my motherboard. But anywho, Marcus, what have you been up to this week? How's it going?
Whoa. Dude.
I just brought you back from the Shadow Realm.
No, dude, like I'm building a computer right now.
I know. So that's it. I started clicking stuff too, and I was like, all right, I got to get back to the show.
So
this is going to sound terrible.
No, it's not. I was listening and like building a computer, and it was amazing. So I hit affiliate on Kick. So the story of this is, I don't know, a week ago or so, I met a few people. Shout out to Gunther and Flame FPS. They are Kick streamers, and I met them, hosted their channel, and I don't know if a lot of people are hosting because they're so used to typing /raid to people, and so I started hosting /host, and it goes right in. Boom! You're in. And like our community completely followed these people and were super chatty. And then they just blew up my stream. And we hit affiliate, which is freaking amazing. Right?
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to remove the soundboard from Riverside. But anyway, so I can't thank everybody enough. And to all the haters out there who told me it was a waste of time and don't do it, it's never going to work. That's my little like whatever. Yeah. Yeah, like fuck off kind of a thing.
Yes.
But it's been a grind, right? Like getting people to come to Kick and create another account. I know myself, I fucking hate creating new accounts. Like I already have an account on everything. I don't need another account. That's always my mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But thank you. We have almost 80 followers. The stream was so hype on Tuesday. And to celebrate the affiliate stream, the intro music to the stream was the chicken dance. You know that. So I did that, and how I started the first 5 minutes of the stream was me doing the fucking chicken dance. Like legit, like everybody loved it. It was great. It was a perfect way to like celebrate because everybody seems to love chickens but me, and I like to eat them.
Nope,
but
wrong.
It was super, 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 super duper humbling. And now that we're there, there's things that I have to do. Like I got to do a custom sub alert because guess what?
Yeah,
I didn't do that because I didn't think I'd ever hit affiliate. Right. And now that I'm there, so now we're going to, I've been thinking about like what we should do. Some people want chicken sounds as it.
I'd love chicken sounds.
I forget what else everybody said. Some of them want me to do a chicken sound, like record myself going. Bark, 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 bark.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's got my vote.
I think that's
when
it
that
right
goes off, and then when that goes off, that's the sub alert. A little backside to Kick. Kick is owned by Stake, which is a gambling company.
Yep.
And they created this program where, they're giving the creators 95% of the money. I'll put it in perspective. So take home, I'm going to take home pay. Twitch take home pay is $2.25 per sub.
Yep.
Kicks is $4.74 a sub. So
that's a big difference.
If you're generous and you do that, which it's not needed, but if you do, the streamer is getting almost all of that $5 or that $4.99 you choose to sub with.
Right.
Downsides are like there's no like how Twitch gives every member a Prime sub where you can sub to a channel for free every month. You don't get that on Kick. There's no bits on Kick. There's no hype trains on Kick. Like Kick is in like early access in comparison to Twitch. You know what I mean? A lot of the features aren't there, but you know what? I really like it because I feel like I'm at the ground level, and my goal is to inspire others to come over to Kick because like, I'm not saying that I'm like the guy to say it or do it all, but like, hey, Marcus did it and like, he's having a great time. Maybe I should come over and try. Because at the end of the day, I'll say it like this. I've done the hard work to get all of our friends and our community to come over to Kick where people don't want to create accounts. Like as an example, like Wes doesn't even follow me on Kick.
All right. You can recheck that.
Oh, boo! I had to just throw it out there. But the point is,
I literally did like 5 minutes ago.
Oh,
wait, yeah, I think
live on the podcast.
I think there's even a stormtrooper following you now on Kick.
Yeah.
Are you looking at your Kick followers?
No.
Are you? I saw you click something on the computer.
Yeah,
and then you were just gone.
Well, I wanted to see. So
10 seconds of silence on the show.
Sorry, it's fine. Dude, like I told you, I'm gonna be off tonight.
I know, but I can still bust your balls.
Well, you should. So anyway, my dream PC built through stintsbuilt.com as a personally guy. So this guy used to drive around all over New England, Pennsylvania, and all the PSP events and take pictures. He was a photographer, and he created this. Jeff Stinson.
Okay.
And he created a PC building company in his basement. And now he builds PCs for like NBA players, football players, all this crazy shit. Stintsbuilt.com. Anyways, my perfect PC is $4,354.85.
Huh.
That's everything I want in a computer.
So how many Kick subs is that?
Way more than I'll ever have. Ever. And let me tell you, if I get that much Kick subs, that shit's paying my mortgage.
Yeah, no kidding. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
No.
I can't.
No,
But-
not really.
No. So I've been having a lot of fun on Kick, and what I really love is that it's like a new beginning. I feel like the opportunity to meet new creators is huge. The opportunity to see some other things that I don't normally see on Twitch, because when you're on Twitch, you kind of get in your groove of like watching the same people. Like right now, I'm watching so many different creators on Kick because it's at the beginning and there's not a lot of people. And I'm going to announce it now. I am going to be giving up my affiliate on Twitch. And I'm going to stick with Kick. I'm not saying I won't stream on Twitch, but like if I do, maybe I'll multi-stream and it'll break terms of service if I multi-stream as an affiliate. So I don't obviously want to do that. I bend rules. I don't break them. You know what I mean? Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Important question though. Can I transfer my truffle shuffles?
So those are the things that are missing. So I'm working. There's this thing called, hold on, Botrix, Botrix. If you Google that, that's like it's like what Streamlabs does, and like it takes all the stuff that Streamlabs and Twitch does and kind of puts it in a website, and you can insert it. It's a bot for your stream.
Okay.
So like now I have like the commands of like shout outs and like commands and like exclamation point Discord. Like it's like that middle ground, because like Kick is in such a beginning stage that Streamlabs hasn't integrated with Kick yet. Once Streamlabs integrates with Kick, I think it'll get so much better, because now I won't need that bot anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll just use Streamlabs. But in the Botrix program, there is a channel point system. I just haven't had a second to kind of go through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you.
And like set it up. Hopefully this weekend I can get that set up. Because like tomorrow night, the Carrie and the kids are going away, and I'm staying home to work at night. But like when I come home, I want to work on my stream stuff, because it's not a stream night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really want, because honestly, you're right, Wes. I really want my channel points back, because I think that's the one complaint the community has, is like all the channel points, like Warlock for a match, or the Truffle Shuffle, or Hunter Stream, or you know what I mean? Like the community misses that, and I miss it too. So I got to do something to bring that back. And honestly, the one thing I actually really miss is giveaways. Like I love giving away our Working Class Nerds merch, and then people post the picture of them wearing the merch in the Discord.
Right.
Or a picture of the shirt or the hat if they don't want to like take a selfie, which I get. But it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, see, like that's why I would say you shouldn't give up Twitch yet.
Well, I'm not going back.
Yeah,
I'm having too much fun on Kick, and giving up affiliate is just giving up the money. You still have the channel points, you still have all that stuff. You're just giving up your emotes and your payouts.
Okay.
But if I multi-stream,
All right.
Next thing is Destiny 2 tomorrow, which is Friday, September 1st. They have their contest mode raid. The raid race, 48 hours to clear the raid. The raid is Crota's End, which was the first ever Destiny 1 raid. In order to get the day one clear, you need to clear it on normal and then clear it with all the challenges done. And they don't tell you what the challenges are. And if you don't complete the challenges, it just kills everybody, which that's pretty cool. So there's
cool.
So it's hard, but you know, some of these pro gamers, they already know because they've data mined it already. You know what I mean? Like all the mechanics are in the spaghetti code somewhere.
Right. So they know what's going on.
Yeah, so the people that are going for the world's first clear, they already know what the hell's going on, and they're going hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have been playing Wayfinder a lot, I really like it, dudes. And not in like the I'm going to play it for 3 weeks like it. Like, I really, really like it. It's the perfect cross. I've been looking for the perfect cross of SWTOR and Destiny, and this game is it. The action combat is intense like Destiny, but the off time is chilling like SWTOR. It beats both worlds. It's early access, but you know, I'm loving playing it. Today, actually, GoGo Town had released to their content creators the Playtest 3, which if you guys have been listening to the podcast, I love GoGo Town, so I'm really excited to download the playtest because they added some really cool new stuff and like polished some things. Like speaking of Cyberpunk, they kind of put some Cyberpunk neon in the game in certain characters and stuff. And for me, that's like quality of life stuff that's going to like intrigue me. And the game has come so far from the first demo we played to Playtest 3, which is now. They say we can create content from it, so I'm probably gonna. I don't know if I'll stream it or do a self-record. I don't know. I got to just decide how I want to play it. But I need to make some.
I vote stream it.
Well, yeah, I'll probably stream it for an hour or so, and then go to whatever game from there.
Okay.
I do want to play Wayfinder on Wayfinder streaming too because it's really good. I'm actually really, really, really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun.
Really
if you like that type of game, huh?
I said I really like the art style of it.
Yeah, it's like kind of looks like WoW and WildStar a little bit. If you guys remember WildStar,
I was definitely getting some WildStar vibes off of it. I miss that game so much. Like game wise, it had some issues, but I loved the atmosphere of WildStar.
Yeah, they said that there's going to be a like one of like those like servers. I don't know what they're called. Like you can play Star Wars Galaxies right now still.
Just like the private servers kind of.
Yeah, like I don't know what they're called. Shit. But you're going to be able to play WildStar. I never played WildStar. That was before my time, and when I started to play MMOs, it was just SWTOR.
Yeah, WildStar, like I said, I loved the atmosphere of it. It was very, like, it had a lot of the Borderlands attitude to it, so that was really fun. The biggest issue for me and for the community as a whole, which ended up leading to its demise, was the endgame was, like, there was a massive, like, gatekeep to the endgame. Because they were trying to appeal to, like, the hardcore community. So, like, in order to get into endgame, you had to do, like, all of the dungeons with what they refer to as gold completion, which means you had to do it without anybody dying. So you'd sit in queue for 40 minutes trying to get a group. You'd go in, someone would have a lag spike and get one shot by a mechanic, and then the group would just fall apart because there was no point in clearing it at that point.
Wow.
Like, you could not get into endgame, and then people just quit playing, and then the game died.
Well, that would be frustrating. I can understand that.
But yeah, it's like, the overall gameplay was very fun. Like, because in typical MMOs, you have, like, you click on a target, you hit an ability, that ability hits the target. Right. Whereas everything in WildStar was, like, free fire AoE telegraphs. So it almost played more like an action game than an MMO.
Well, that's kind of fun. I could see myself potentially enjoying that, but I'm not an MMO guy typically.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check out some Wayfinder, because I think when I first heard about it, I was afraid it was going to be like an Overwatch style game, PvP. But now that I see that it's PvE, I might have to give it a look.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's not my style, but it's a lot of people that have been playing the early access have loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Rayu and I have been, dude, we've been loving it. It's great. It's absolutely great. And it's just a change. I was talking to Atrax earlier. Oh my God, we haven't talked any shit about Atrax yet. I'll get to that. So I was talking to him earlier, and like when I play Guild Wars 2, it's just a vibe. Like you're just like, it's like you're getting into your comfy, cozy seat. If I could quote Director Chronic about it, like you're getting comfy, cozy, and you're just chilling. There is no stress when you're playing Guild Wars 2. You're just going questing, and it's like you're like the flower girl at a wedding, throwing your flowers out. You know what I mean?
Just wait, it gets there.
Well, maybe in Endgame, right?
Oh, yeah.
But like the story of it is just, where like Wayfinder, there's some good action and then there's chilling, and it hits kind of both worlds. Cause sometimes I just want to chill. And honestly, immediately you get like an apartment. And I know it sounds silly. And like in SWTOR, I never really thought much of it. But in Destiny, there's no housing, which I would love. Like in the tower, if you had like a bedroom that you could go to and like, just that's yours. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Player housing. I'm trying to remember what else. Oh, PlayStation sale. Doing a little A-Track stuff. PlayStation sale is happening right now. It's on Steam, but it's a complete and total ripoff. The Last of Us Part 1 is $47.99. Like, who the hell would pay for that? When you can go to like GameStop and get Last of Us Part 1 on PlayStation 5 for like $8. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
or
ridiculous.
to get the PlayStation 4 edition and it'll automatically upscale for you for the PS5. Like, for me now, it's just a little much.
Agreed.
But they don't even have Last of Us 2 on it. Right. But they don't even have... No, Miles Morales is $33. Spider-Man Remastered is $40. God of War 1 is $30. Horizon Zero Dawn, which Nick played, is $16.49.
Sweet. That's a great value if you've not played it.
Yeah. In Game of the Month news, in the latest episode for Guild Wars 2, Atrax says the expansion is top tier and the others are also having fun with it. Lots of flying around and attacking stuff. The secrets are less obscure, but still pretty obscure. There's more to come in the week's end. There are a few new cosmetic items in the shop this week, as well as discounts on account upgrades, which means they're trying to get people to, go from free to play to pay.
Yeah.
Log in and get a free Black Lion chest key cosmetic and a revive orb. Let us know in the Discord if you enjoyed this month's Game of the Month. Find out what the Game of the Month is in the next episode. So Atrax is going to PAX West for a couple days, but instead of podcasting, he was supposed to go to Seattle today. He's leaving tomorrow early morning. So instead of coming on the podcast today, he is in this CSGO league and they're doing like combines right now to like get teams. And one of the combines was tonight. So instead of podcasting, he's doing CSGO.
He's trying out for like a CSGO.
Yeah, he's trying out for
semi-pro
CSGO too. Yeah, so like in his tier of CSGO players, he's ranked 12 in all of the community.
Wow.
So each level of tier, let's say A, B, C, D, E. The best tier is A, the worst tier is E. Let's say he's in the C division, whatever. Or let's say he's in Division 2.
Okay. Yeah, just for,
out of all those
sake.
100 players, he's ranked 12th.
Wow.
So he's a good dude. He's nasty at CSGO.
No, I know. I played with him. It's like
right. And I think like this is like his perfect evolution. Like he plays so many games, but he should play like in a league in CSGO. Like that's perfect for him.
Yeah, like no, that makes perfect sense. I agree. Like he belongs there,
Right, like it's perfect.
I'm happy for him.
So last thing, I will be making the post tomorrow, which is September 1st. We are doing another fashion contest in the nerds community.
What?
Shout out to Quinn for the help. Shout out to Quinn for the help. Our official nerds community fashionista.
Yes.
So we are going to have one category, which will be your best outfit if you were going to a wedding.
Okay.
Okay. And the second one is gonna be your ugliest outfit.
Just in general?
Just in general. Like, you're like, I don't know if it's ugliest or like your best Halloween kind of costume.
Okay.
Like
unpleasant to look at.
Unpleasant. But the rules will be set in the Discord. Tomorrow, as I said, but it's going to be, we're going to do it a little different, but we're going to try it this time for all the games are going to be in one category.
Okay.
Because last time we did 2 different games and it kind of like one like had a shit ton of entries and the other did not. Winners.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, you want to do that. Like,
right. So, like, whether or not you play Guild Wars 2 or Final Fantasy 14 or Destiny, you're going to be able to put in your outfit. You can play Call of Duty and put in your outfit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously graphics aren't going to have anything to do with it. It's just going to be the best dressed.
As it should be.
Right. Obviously there's going to be rules. It'll be one outfit per of the 2 categories. First place prize will be working class nerds something. There will be prizes for first, second, and third, depending on the entries. If we get less than 20 entries, it'll probably just be whoever wins the pool. But if we get 30 to 40 entries, then we'll do a first, second, and third place prize. So tomorrow, look in the Discord, or by the time this show comes out, you might be looking at it Monday, whatever, or when you listen to it, Monday, September 3rd, I think it is, which is Labor Day. You'll be able to see all the rules in the Discord, and we will have a panel of judges. Because we're doing it once, we'll probably do a panel of 5 people to do it, and it will not be me, Nick, and Atrax.
Nope.
I might walk away from the judging and get people who play a bunch of different games to judge it.
Agreed.
Well, because I'm really biased, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh, dude, you post a picture of the Warlock, you know what I mean?
Right. What would be a good judge would be Feta. Because he's like artsy. I don't know.
Well, he's got to step. Feta, our community manager's got to step it up in the Discord.
Well, that's fair.
You know what I mean? So doesn't one of our co-hosts, but we're not calling him out. Anyways, moving on.
Who could that possibly be?
Yeah, so look in the Discord for that.
It's me, everybody. But look in the Discord for Fashionista 3.0.
Fashionista 3.0. So last thing is, as you guys heard in the dedication to the show, I lost 2 friends this week. Yeah, it's been a really odd week for me. No Debbie Downer about it. Live your life as if it's your last day. Yeah. Live every day as if it's your last day. Sorry. Nick, what have you been up to?
Well, Monday I played some Call of Duty as I'm waiting for Starfield, and that was very solid. I alluded to that earlier in the episode where I was talking about playing with the malicious guys. That's always
and it was
fun.
Awesome because all I did was talk shit.
Oh yeah, it was not. We played terrible.
They played terrible, and I was like, "What is this, Division 4?" And they were like, "What the fuck, Marcus?"
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're about to be semi-pro, and not in fucking Warzone though. We're like, yeah, we'd be like Division 5, like
Beginners.
Last place in Division 4. Yeah, beginner. Just we were basically out there with like, rental guns. In Warzone, but no. Speaking of stream, I'd like to talk about Starfield because I think it's important to explain my thought. I mean, maybe it's not, but I'm going to anyways. I want to explain my thoughts on like the pre-ordering versus not versus whatever. So for one, I'm busy this weekend, so I won't have time to play. Let me back up. So Bethesda is running this deal. I guess not really a deal, but if you buy the more expensive version of Starfield, the $100 version, you get early access to play the game starting, I believe, today. It's Thursday, August 31st. You can start playing. Normally, it comes out on Wednesday, September 6th. That's the regular release date, but it's not. But if you buy the extra $40, or $30 really, because the base game's $70. If you pre-order the premium edition, you get to play today. And I don't think it's worth it because I don't know if the game's any good or not yet, and I really don't want to spend extra money on an experiment. You know what I mean?
But are you really not going to buy this game? Even if people come out and say the game sucks, it's awful, you're still going to buy this game.
Yeah, but I'm not going to buy it early and for more money. I'm going to pay the $70, not the $100. You see what I'm saying?
No, I get it. But here,
especially when hold on, you can also later purchase the premium upgrade for $30. So if you want to get the other content without the early access, you can just pay for that later. If I get it and love it, I'll just buy the upgrade. But
sure.
I'm not going to roll the dice, spend extra money to roll the dice that it's going to work day one. And I'm not worried about it being a bad game. I'm worrying about game breaking bugs and stuff, which Bethesda in particular is known for. So I don't want to. If I'm not going to play? I'm kind of busy anyways over the period of the extra access. It's not like I have 3 days or something of I'm free and I can just jam and game. Then I would probably do it. But
that's what I was trying to say is that if you didn't have a shit ton of stuff to do,
yeah,
you would have 100% bought it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But you have your what the hell is it called? I'm trying to remember the name of it. You have your reserve weekend this weekend because you got to go out with all the stormtroopers and do your drill weekend this weekend. Yeah. So you're going to be busy doing that. Then you have paintball practice. Yeah, you got to take the AT-ATs out. Right. You got to try to hit a target, which you clearly can't.
Right.
And they're trying to work on that. Then you're going to have paintball practice on top of it. So early access didn't quite work for you this week.
Right.
Phasma's on vacation next week when it actually comes out. So you guys can get actually out there and play it.
Right. Yeah. Thankfully TK427's been working with me to hone in the new targeting scopes we got. So maybe we can actually hit something this drill weekend.
So if you can't hit your target, have you ever tried purposefully missing and then maybe accidentally hit?
That's not a bad idea. We should try that. Maybe I'll shoot at the sky and I'll get lucky.
All of a sudden you start hitting stuff.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Stormtrooper jokes aside, yeah, I'm also okay. So I did a little bit of research. By a little bit of research, I saw the IGN review pop up on my feed, which they didn't release any. Bethesda did not release any early Starfield review codes. So nobody's actually played it any longer than if you've played it from midnight when it came out, and then that's it. So this review from Bethesda is a 12 hours of gameplay review. Or sorry, this review from IGN. So I don't know. I don't give it a lot of credit. It's only one review. They gave it a 7 out of 10, and they were oh, it's kind of boring in the intro. I'm yeah, but you're learning everything in the intro, and you don't know anything.
When aren't intros boring?
Right, especially in a game with that much exploration.
Intro is fucking boring.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be exciting, but even that's boring. Making your character takes time, and it's not boring, but it's not action packed. That's for sure. Although Skyrim's intro is pretty cool, actually.
It's only boring unless you mod Alduin into Thomas the Tank Engine or something like that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know. Seeing the dragons come in the intro is pretty cool. I thought, as long as the game didn't bug out and you're
but
floating head or something.
Seeing it come in, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think they're building a world, and this is. I'll use the High Republic as an example. Light of the Jedi's book, it was super slow in the beginning because they got to do some world building. Yeah, you got to understand the world. If they just throw you in a ship and say fly around, you're going to be
yeah, that's not going to work. No, I don't know. I have a lot of patience for that, and the negatives in that IGN review were really things that I wouldn't think were necessarily negative. They're basically saying oh, it's really slow. you don't unlock a lot of the mechanics until like a little bit further in, and like now that I'm here, it's really, really cool. And like you can do all these cool things, but like I had to learn what these factions are. I'm like, well, yeah, no shit. They're building an entirely new set of lore and everything. So like
standard game progression.
Right. Like of course you don't know anything about anything yet. So yeah. That being said, I'm still pretty optimistic, long story short. And so I'm tempted to buy it, but I know I won't have any time. I won't have any free time until like literally Wednesday when it's going to come out anyway. So it really doesn't make any sense to pre-order it. But so not next week's stream, but the stream after that. So it'll be September 11th. Oh.
Well,
but Monday, September 11th will be when I actually get to play Starfield on stream.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
When does it come out? Next Wednesday?
Yeah, the 6th.
You should stream it Wednesday night.
No, it's guys' night.
Yeah. That's kind of important.
I have plans. I'm not skipping guys' night to stream.
To play Starfield?
Yeah, but I work remotely that Wednesday.
Yeah, because your first stream playing the game, you have to start playing the game on stream.
No. I mean, unless I stream during the day, but like, I don't know. I'm not, I wasn't going to because I like to take my time with the character. Like, it's going to take me 2 hours just to go through the character creation page.
Really?
Yeah. And I got to like look at all the skills and stuff to like choose which class I want and which like backstory. Like all that stuff matters. Like there's a backstory you can choose where like both your parents are still alive and there's only one of those. And like, if you do, then they show up in the game and there's a whole quest line with that. And you can like send money home to your parents, but like you get these other emotional benefits or something like that. But like, if you don't, then that whole quest line's gone. Like because your parents are dead in that backstory. There's another backstory where you're like secretly a famous person and this person recognizes you, is just a huge fan and like is your hype man and just follows you around. He's just like, let's go. It's like, you're the best. You can do anything or whatever.
Wow. All right.
like,
so that sounds pretty cool. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
All that stuff is terrible stream content because I'm going to be like trying to read something and it'll be like, ding, Marcus cheered 100 bits. Ba 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 ba.
I get it.
KY.
And just for the record, everybody knows that Chimeri loves pineapple.
Yes, he does. What did I say? The pineapple Pokemon Prince himself.
Yes.
But yeah. So, anyways, Starfield. I'm excited for it. Just tempered expectations, Try not to be disappointed with things, but so far so good. We had a pretty epic spread. Speaking of guys' night, last night we watched the 3rd episode of Ahsoka with Storm and Norman, aka my dad, aka Marcus's uncle, and myself and Marcus. And my dad got a smoker courtesy of Marcus recently.
All right, so the story is this: I had a pellet grill, and I really wanted a Blackstone, but I couldn't buy a Blackstone and justify buying it and having another grill. And then we were at guys' night, and I was like, "Hey, you wanted a pellet grill? My pellet grill's legit." But when you have a pellet grill, like you need time, and that's something I don't have. Like I look at my life as like a short order cook, right? Like I need 100%. To cook. You know what I mean? Like right now I'm so busy that like I can saute some onions, make some dope ass burgers or chicken, whatever on a Blackstone and be done. And I'm done. Where like the pellet grill, you're slow cooking, you're smoking, you're chilling at home. I ain't got time for that.
He was describing the processes he made pulled pork and ribs. And it was like, yeah, it's usually like 4 to 6 hours for this or 4.5 hours for that. I was like, damn, that's a lot of fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, right. That's not an after work affair.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? That's you took your Saturday and then you're smoking meats today. And that's
yes. And you're chilling at home, mowing the lawn, doing all like your house chores, but you're also smoking meat and drinking bourbon.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, it's a great day, but so I don't have that kind of time. And I got a crazy deal on the Blackstone. And I told him, I was like, hey, my pellet grill was like an $800 grill. I got a really good deal on it, but I didn't care. It wasn't about the money to me. I was like, hey, you just cover what I just spent on the Blackstone, including tax, and the grill's yours. He's like, fucking deal. Like,
okay,
done. Here you go. And now I'm benefiting from him having a pellet grill because I'm getting to eat this amazing fucking food.
Yeah, you got a new grill that you'll actually use more.
I use it at least 3 times a week now.
Yeah, and free sweet like smoked foods, meats.
Right.
That's a win-win.
Fuck. I forgot to talk shit yesterday because like I was gonna be like, dude, I heard brisket is impossible to make. Like brisket's my favorite smoked meat, but it takes a while. Like it's an art to cook a good brisket.
Yeah, no, it is.
But like if I tell him that, his fucking mind will be churning, and like he won't do it right away. But like
for the next couple weeks, all his YouTube algorithm will just be like the best ways to smoke brisket, smoking it at 173 versus 178.
Exactly, and like how many minutes, and like how to let it rest, and he'll do his fucking research, and then
double layers of tinfoil or a single layer.
Right, exactly, and then always single layer because you need just a light tinfoil hat so the broadcast can still get through.
Gotta get that 5G in there.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, let those radio waves in. But anyway, so he'll do it. And he'll probably make a small one for him and his wife. And they'll be like, oh, it's good. And then the second time he does it, it'll be like perfection.
Yeah, and that'll be the guys' night presentation. So I made brisket. I hope you guys are hungry.
Dude, he says that. I'm going to tell him I'm coming over now. Like, brisket.
I might even show up. Like.
Exactly.
Yeah, right? Brisket is no joke. Brisket's my favorite barbecue meat.
For sure.
Hands down.
Oh, dude. Believe it or not, the other thing I really like is pulled chicken.
Pulled chicken's underrated. I like pulled chicken a lot.
Yeah. I do it in the crock pot, and I know it's not the same. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't have the smoke flavor, but like I'll do the chicken breast in there, and then I'll just put some barbecue sauce, and like it'll cook so much that it just like falls apart.
Yeah, that's the best.
And you put that, like we used to do that with like tacos, the pulled chicken tacos, dude. Oh my God. But anyway, his spread was top tier, and his coleslaw was amazing.
The coleslaw is really good. Did he make that, or did he buy? I think he bought it, but that was
he made it. He doesn't buy anything. He might have bought like the kit, but then he puts his own pizzazz in it.
That's true. That's exactly what he did.
Like
I was
you
like,
could get
wait a minute.
coleslaw.
He didn't buy it because it was in a house bowl that he was serving it out of. I'm like,
right.
He would have left it in the
so
container.
like you can buy like a coleslaw bag, and it comes with like the sauce to mix it in. But he was like, "Fuck that! I don't use their sauce. I'll make my own."
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no,
so it was like the pre-cut coleslaw, but he did his own thing.
Right. But it was epic. It was great. Speaking of Guys Night, we watched Ahsoka episode 3, and I'm liking the series. It's basically Rebels season 5. If you didn't watch Rebels, you're gonna like it a lot less than if you did watch Rebels. This particular episode, it was like kind of blah. It was definitely felt like a filler episode. It was very short. It was like a 35-minute total runtime. So with the credits, it was like 25 minutes or something. It was really not long at all. It did have the same director as episode 2, which usually they don't do that on these types of series. Like maybe a director will do like...
I thought Filoni directed all of them.
No. The Filoni is directing episodes... I can look it up, but it's like the first episode he directed and then maybe the last episode or the second to last episode. But then the same director did 2 and 3, but it feels like this should have been one episode and they split it up because they needed the extra runtime, like episode count or something like that. So that's how episode 3 of Ahsoka felt, but I'll look up.
Wes, are you watching Ahsoka?
I need to get caught up. I've been super lazy and no, I have not watched them yet.
You haven't watched any of it?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm digging all the fanfare.
Yep.
Do I think the show is fantastic? I think it's a good show. I haven't decided on how good it is yet.
Yeah, same.
Because I'm still waiting. Like, okay, I can't say. There's a part which, if you know me in Star Wars, like there's my favorite part of Star Wars was inserted into the show, which I absolutely love, and it puts a complete plot twist on the whole show. But I'm eager for the next 2 episodes because I feel like in the next 2 episodes, everything like the plot just is going to come to fold.
Yeah.
The one thing that everybody knows is, Grand Admiral Thrawn is going to be in it. They showed him in the trailer. And what I'm really kind of hoping for is that he doesn't show up until the end of the first season. Like the last scene of the first season, he turns around, he's like, hello. You know what I mean? And the reason why is because I don't want them to put their whole dick on the table in the first season. So then the second season isn't as good.
Right.
Like right now they're chasing Thrawn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we want to get to that. Huh?
I would like to see Thrawn and have him do stuff with Thrawn. You know what I mean?
Well, in the last episode.
No.
I'm okay. See, and what do you do season 2 for?
So season 2, here's this is not going to happen this way. I think it's going to be that they're going to reveal like that turnaround of Thrawn we see in the trailer is going to be like the last shot of the whole show. But which I am going to hate because it's dumb. Like if you're teasing Thrawn the whole time, let him be in the show and fuck some shit up. So my ideal world is like next episode they find Thrawn. Like they, you know what I mean? And then they battle back and forth in conflict of him coming back. Is Ezra back? Maybe Thrawn's back and Ezra's not, and they're trying to. And now Sabine has to make a choice as to like, does she help fight Thrawn or does she go after Ezra? And it's like this moral choice, and then is she the greater good, or you know what I mean, or whatever, something like that. And then at the last episode, this big conflict, and Thrawn wins. And then season 2, you see them like fixing the shit. See, that would be cool because then you have your cake and eat it too, in my opinion. But to talk about the directors real quick, so Dave Filoni directs episodes. There's 8 total episodes, by the way. Dave Filoni Dave Filoni wrote the whole show, but he directed episodes 1 and 5. Steph Green did both episodes 2 and 3, which I alluded to earlier. Peter Ramsey is directing episode 4. Peter Ramsey is probably one of your favorite directors, Marcus. Peter Ramsey is the director of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm. I know that.
Oh, okay, 1 and 2. I did not know that. Jennifer Getzinger, whom I'm not super familiar with, is directing episode 6. Geeta Vezant Patel is directing episode 7. I definitely butchered that name. And then Rick Famuyiwa is episode 8, the finale. I don't know the last 3 directors.
So what that is telling me is episode 5 is the big one.
Yeah, episode 5. So then that tells me probably that's when Thrawn comes back. It's episode 5.
Yeah, because Filoni's not going to let anybody do that reveal.
Exactly. Yeah, that's his. I mean, he did that in Rebels. He used to, directing Thrawn. So like, if that clues me into that, that feels pretty good for me, because it's like you've got episode 5. That is literally what I was describing is halfway through, because there's 8 episodes. Episode 5, if it's in the middle of episode 5, then you've got 3 episodes of conflict with Thrawn, which is cool. But that's what I'd like to see.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Rick the one who does a lot of like the more action-heavy episodes of The Mandalorian? I'm pretty sure he's the one that directed Boba Fett's Return. Oh, wait, no, that was no, it wasn't Boba Fett's Return.
No,
that was
I think Bryce Dallas Harper did that. Maybe.
No, that was the Spy Kids guy.
Oh yes, yeah.
But Rick, I know has done a lot of the more action-heavy episodes. I enjoy a lot of the episodes of Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett that he did. So
he did season 2, episode 8, the rescue, and season 2, episode 5. Is this correct? No, those are just the top rate episode. That's not right. Sorry. I'm not good at IMDb.
Do you think that they should just make The Mandalorian like a Disney Plus movie to finish the story?
They are. That's what they're doing.
Oh, that was confirmed?
It's a movie, yeah. Dave Filoni's directing it.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
See you
it's
later.
a movie. The culmination thing is a movie.
Oh, good.
He directed season 3, episode 5, chapter 21, The Pirate, which is cool. That was a good episode.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a pretty good show. I think it's like okay now, and I think it has a lot of potential to just be like very, very good in the end. Marcus, do we have any AIE news?
In AIE news, guess what? Tuesday nights
What?
is Clan Night in Destiny 2.
What?
That's
It
9
is?
p.m. Yep, 9 p.m. Eastern. All are welcome. Whether you're in the clan or not, you're welcome to come. Obviously, if there's actual clan members that are there, they're going to get, preferential treatment. But everybody is able to come. We most times have people that aren't even playing the game. They're playing other games, but they just want to hang out with us in voice. We usually end the clan night with a private PvP match.
Oh, yeah.
Or two, which, believe it or not, I'm not like a huge PvP guy in Destiny, but like playing against your clanmates and like everybody's talking smack in a really light-hearted way to finish off the night, it's really good. But it always seems to be that everybody wants to kill me the most.
I can't imagine why.
Okay, well, I can imagine that like everybody would be like, let's help Marcus beat everybody, but it's usually just, no, let's just kill Marcus. Or maybe it's just easy pickings.
I think a combination. Easy
No, I just
pickings
think
and like, that's true too.
And then shout out to the SWTOR Escape podcast, or now it's just the Escape podcast. Max and Seema have branched out a little bit. Congratulations on 10 years of podcasting.
Wow. Yeah, congrats.
10 years of podcasting.
That's a crazy
And they have branched out of just SWTOR, and they're talking more game news and new release games. They are coming on the podcast in a couple weeks.
Yes, indeed.
So that's going to be really great.
Unfortunately, they're coming on while I'm in Chicago, but that's okay.
I might reschedule with them then, because I'd like you to be there for it.
No, I'd like to be there for that too.
Yeah, I'll see if they can push it to the 21st instead of the 14th, which that's not a big deal. But I'm really excited to talk to them about, podcasting for 10 years, why the change from a specific game, which, we probably know why, but they still talk a lot about the game. But, it's evolution. It's just like us. We used to talk a bunch of shit, and we've just we're more of like a rambling podcast.
Yeah. We certainly are good at that.
Yeah, people ask all the time, like, "Oh, what's your podcast about?" I don't know. We just ramble.
We're just rambling.
Like, you get some information, but not really.
Yeah,
it's mostly interruptions and rambling
and sidebars. And if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org. Get our Discord information in the top right-hand corner of the website. Click that purple button and ask for a guild invite, whether or not you play Star Wars: The Old Republic, Destiny 2, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, Elder Scrolls Online, any of the other games that we play. We would love to have you. And with that, Marcus has to pee, and I do not for once. So we'll be right back.
My God, what is taking him so goddamn long?
Nick, hurry up, man.
It's all that beer you're drinking. Come on, bro.
Bros before hoes, man. Get off Snapchat.
And we're back. So today we're going to just mention a little bit about the Old Republic that was mentioned this week and get into some working class questions.
But not yet.
So this week, Nick sent me a link, and it said something about the Knights of the Old Republic remake, and it said the Old Republic gets brief synopsis as Disney organizes its Star Wars eras. No official projects exist in this era yet.
Right. So Disney updated their StarWars.com website, and they have a timeline of the different eras, if you will. Like chunks of time, like in that have their own unique stories. And they updated the Old Republic one. I don't think it had a description before, and now the description for the Old Republic era, as is canon from Disney, reads: "The Republic is founded among the worlds of the galactic core, and the Jedi Order emerges to protect it. A schism within the Jedi leads to the creation of the Sith in this epic era." I think the interesting portion is the Republic is founded among the worlds of the galactic core, and the Jedi Order emerges to protect it. So it's just pretty cool that, like, Disney, had originally made that stuff Legends and not canon, and now they're slowly bringing, canon pieces of it into things. And, Revan is canon as of, I forget if it was Jedi Fallen Order canonized Revan or if Rebels did. I forget which. Something that they made recently canonized it. But it's all that's exciting. That's great. I think it's awesome to have that recognition. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Disney putting some content in eras that we've not seen before. Like, I'm really looking forward to some High Republic era stuff whenever we see that, I think it's
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that they're mentioning it now. And I'm sure they've been working on it with, like you were saying about the High Republic.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are 100% making a game and show in this era.
In the Old
Republic?
Republic?
They're laying the groundwork now.
I hope so. I think that'd be great. I think we might get a movie, actually, going forward, if you want to put the tinfoil hat on.
And, like, the cool thing about the Old Republic era is it's, comparatively to any of the other eras in Star Wars, like, you have a much wider range of time. Because, like, you look at Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic, like SWTOR, and they're, 3,300 years, I think, BBY? And yet, here, this quote here is talking about the Great Schism, which happened, I think, 18,000? So, like, you're already looking at 15,000 galactic years of time where you can just throw stuff in.
Right.
And this kind of leans into something that I've always kind of said about ever since Disney decanonized the Old Republic, was like, it's so far removed from anything else that's in canon that it doesn't conflict. So, like, I've always still kind of considered it canon.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's not like any of the characters overlap at all. It doesn't matter.
But
so, they can just do whatever they want because everything's so far removed from each other that, like, it doesn't. There's a lot of creative leeway that they can do stuff without stepping on the toes of other stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what Marcus and I have been, like, championing for years, being like, why don't they just go to the Old Republic? Or now we were, pretty pumped about the High Republic being several hundred years prior to BBY, but no, I totally agree. I'm pumped about it. Marcus, what were you going to say?
I think the thing is why they haven't gone there is because there is so much content, and
like there isn't, like SWTOR has so much content already there.
Well, SWTOR, all the Revan stuff, Knights of the Old Republic, still Knights of the Old Republic is still the #1 rated Star Wars game ever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
So for me now, if they fuck that up, you know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, there's so much content around there already that people are in love with that they don't want to screw it up. Yeah, I guess that's true. But I mean, like Wes was saying, though, there is a 15,000 year time span that they're talking about.
Well, that's why they went to the High Republic, because they own that era. Nobody ever did anything there. So everything they create, which is pretty good right now, is all Disney.
Yeah.
The canvas is empty. Where in the Old Republic, it's 15,000 years early, but you're still getting that, like, overlap, and people are gonna be like, that's not my Old Republic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
I think that's why
the sequel era.
Right. I think that's why, like, the KOTOR remake got canceled, is because it was too different from the original game, and people are just gonna be like, no, that's not my game. What they should have done is just remade the original game.
A remaster versus a remake.
Well, no,
Yeah,
remake it, but exactly the same.
Yeah, that's what
That's that's what a remaster is.
Oh.
They basically just update the graphics.
update the graphics, maybe streamline some of the game systems, like
Yeah.
maybe make it say like an action RPG versus a D20 system, like it used to be.
Right.
Right. Yeah, 100%. But the big one right now for me is, what are they going to do with it? I think with the High Republic, they're doing that right. Right? I think they're getting I'm trying to think of the right way to say this now. I think they're getting enough stuff out of the High Republic, and they're figuring out, like, hey, this book sold well, this comic sold well. They're working through the story before they release content, a movie, a show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Acolyte is coming and is going to be the first thing in the High Republic. But I think that's a good way to start it. With the Old Republic, it's hard to do that because there's already things set there. But maybe they're making SWTOR too.
I doubt it.
Okay, so it might not
totally
be the
different
MMO.
studio.
Well, no. They may not be an MMO like it is, but why couldn't they do, I'm going to say, like a Destiny-style SWTOR 2? Where, like, you can still have a lightsaber. Like, there's no reason why you couldn't be a Jedi in Destiny.
Yeah, okay.
And then you could be a bounty hunter if you're a bounty hunter and you're using a gun, first person. If you're a Jedi and holding a sword, you're third person.
I guess that's true.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the one thing that the Star Wars era is really lacking right now is online games. Because all of the Star Wars games that are coming out, other than Squadrons, which kind of flopped a little bit,
There are like first-person story-based games.
yes,
like,
it's just single-player games, so it's one and done. Now, granted, Fallen Order was amazing. I didn't play the second one, but the first Fallen Order was amazing.
You should play the second one. I enjoyed it a lot, especially now that, like, some of the bugs I was running into are ironed out.
Right.
But, well, we just wanted to touch on that. And now it's time for Working Class Questions. You know what? You don't like the new sound?
Oh,
wait,
my
wait.
God.
It's like it from ESPN or something. This just in, breaking news. Or if you have some serious shit happening. Can you believe it? All right, well, anyways.
Hey, back on the ranch.
Working class questions.
We need to get Nick away from this.
From the soundboard.
Okay, Quinn, Mr. Fashionista himself, asks,
Oh, yeah.
what is your Mount Rushmore of cheeses?
Great question and great use of one of my favorite phrases.
Wes, what do you got?
Wes was not expecting to be answering first.
So the issue with me is, like, I'm a basic bitch when it comes to, like, food. So
okay.
like, I'm just like, I don't try all the fancy cheeses. I mean, just plain old American, which is not even really a cheese, but that's beside the point.
Oh, I'm gonna disagree. If you
American's
have
on my
Boar's Head,
list.
but no, yeah, American's on my list too. But Boar's Head is the only one that is real cheese American. Only buy Boar's Head cheese.
For American cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the rest of them are like cheese product or something.
Right.
And if it's orange, it ain't right. But what else? What else you got, Wes?
Beside that, probably a mild cheddar. Like, I've had some good sharp cheddars, but a lot of them are also a little too sharp. Pepper Jack is definitely on there. And I mean, this is also cheating, but one time I was in Wisconsin and I got chocolate cheese, and it was just like eating soft fudge.
That sounds cool.
Like perpetually soft fudge.
Yeah. Nice. For me, I would say American because it's so versatile. It goes on all kinds of different stuff. Also shout out to like a sharp cheddar though, especially like a fancy like smoked one or something for like a charcuterie board or charcuterie board, if you will. And I forgot the type of cheese, but it's called Jasper no, what the hell is it called? Is it Jasper Hill? Is that the fucking? I completely forgot. It's the name of the company is the Caves at Jasper Hill. I think. Hopefully, sorry, the sellers from Jasper Hill Farm. They have this cheese. This is up in Vermont. It's like a local high end cheese. Oh, Harbison, it's called. It's from pasteurized cow milk. It's bark wrapped with a bloomy rind. It tastes like an oatmeal cream cheese spread. Or sorry, not oatmeal, like a mushroom reduction cream cheese spread. It's like super soft in the middle. It's ridiculously good. But anyways, that's me. That's my cheese talk. Marcus, what you got?
So first and foremost, greatest cheese ever is Boar's Head American.
Okay.
But I'm going to throw a wrench in it. Orange. I love the orange cheese.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I do. Like, I like the white too, but orange is my favorite.
Okay.
Second is straight up Vermont extra sharp white cheddar.
Yep. I dig it.
Okay. And then
that I'll like take a bite out of the stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then it's gonna be funny. My third favorite cheese is Baby Bell.
Dude, I actually really like Baby Bell cheese too. I'm not hating on you for that one at all.
Bro, when I was like
in the Discord, but
dude, like that's fine. But like back when I was younger, in the bars when they would give you pretzels and snacks, this one bar was a dive. They would sell you like little Baby Bells, and I'd buy like 5 of those and just snack the pretzels with the Baby Bell cheese.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Then I'd be wasted and I'd be like breaking off the things and making like tanning sunglasses with them, like a fucking idiot. But yeah,
I'd buy those like little like spreadable like cheese wedge things that you put on crackers. Those were pretty good too. They had like a French onion one or something like that. I think that was really good.
I forgot who. I think that's Laughing Cow.
Laughing Cow.
Right?
That's what. Yes, I'm mixing up companies.
Those are great too, though. Great call. What do we got next from Quinn, Marcus?
Elk or caribou? Who wins the cutest contest?
I don't know the difference.
Caribou.
Probably
baby.
caribou.
For cute, I mean, caribou have like the little like pale noses.
Yeah.
Okay, and those are reindeer. I'll go with the reindeer. Why not? Caribou wins. Quinn also asks favorite Ice Age character. I mean, that's a no-brainer. It's got to be the squirrel.
I was gonna say it's either Scrat or Sid. I mean, Sid's
wait.
animal.
Is he talking about like Ice Age, or like the movie?
The movie.
Yeah, the movie Ice Age. The animated movie.
Oh, it has to be the squirrel.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Quinn also asks, what is the best DreamWorks movie other than Shrek? Bonus points if anyone says Prince of Egypt. I forgot DreamWorks did Prince of Egypt. That was like their non-3D.
And I'm not doing this just to like suck up to get the bonus points, but like back in high school, my friends and I like memorized all of the music from Prince of Egypt, and we like sing it during break. So like,
that's cool. No, Prince of Egypt was good, man. Did DreamWorks do? They did Toy Story, right? No,
that was Pixar.
Pixar. I'm conflating Pixar and DreamWorks. I don't know.
Was Over the Hedge DreamWorks?
Yes, I think was Ants DreamWorks also. Ants was good.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of stuff from back in the day.
Bro, okay, I'm just gonna put this out there. I have to give the Mount Rushmore: Tropic Thunder, Saving Ryan's Privates, and The Gladiator.
No, we're talking about. No,
those are all DreamWorks. Yeah, but that's all DreamWorks.
No, those are DreamWorks, the production studio, not DreamWorks Animation, which is what we're talking about.
Oh,
like, come on. Yeah, Ants, October 1990. 8. Prince of Egypt was December 98. The Road to El Dorado, March 2000. I'm picking The Road to El Dorado. Then we got Chicken Run, Shrek, which we can't choose. Spirit, I don't know that one. Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas, Shrek 2, Shark Tale, Madagascar, Wallace and Gromit.
Oh, Madagascar.
Madagascar's good. Yeah.
Madagascar's got to go on there.
Hands down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, Over the Hedge, which you talked about, Wes.
Yeah.
Flushed Away, I don't know what that's about. Shrek the Third, The Bee Movie, which is terrible. Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar 2. I'm going to just rip through these quick. I'm almost done. Monsters vs. Aliens, How to Train Your Dragon, Shrek Forever After, Megamind, Kung Fu Panda 2, Puss in Boots, Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted 3D, Rise of the Guardians, the Croads. The Croads? I'm going to go Croods. Turbo, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Penguins of Madagascar, Home Kung Fu Panda 3, Trolls, Boss Baby, Captain Underpants, How to Train Your Dragon The Hidden World, Abominable, Trolls World Tour, The Croats, A New Age, that's the second movie about those things, Spirit, Untamed, Boss Baby 2, Troll Hunters, Rise of the Titans, and The Bad Guys.
Thank God. We've already decided. Madagascar.
All right, I like El Dorado. The Road to El Dorado is my pick, but
oh, look who decided to show up in the working class questions. 8 Tracks asks, which fictional character has the best story arc? I'll let you guys go first.
Ooh, man,
I have
that's
2. It's right off the top for me. It's easy.
Okay, go ahead.
First, I'm going video games. Okay.
Yep.
First is Zelda. Second is Commander Shepard.
Zelda Link or Zelda?
Zelda.
The princess from the Legend of Zelda games. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay. Well, what do you mean? How so?
Like, because she's always gets captured, but she has, like, powers. And, but she always overcomes it, like, the trauma that she must go through. Like, that story is incredible. Yeah, like, of course, Link's the hero, right? He gets everything taken from him, and he and he gets the Master Sword, and he saves the day. But Zelda's getting fucked up all the time. Like, she's just getting ravaged.
Right.
You know what I mean?
She's got to hold back the
dude. Like, how many times can she be like? How many times can she be straight up like, like taken care of by Ganondorf? Like, come on.
Right. Like, come on. Yeah. That's
Then you get to the end of Twilight Princess, and like the last boss fight is basically you just driving the horse while Zelda kills again. Like,
yeah,
that's what I mean. Zelda's Zelda. Her arc is incredible.
She goes through a lot.
Yeah,
it's understated for sure. That's a good call.
It didn't say it had to be like a main character.
No, that's great. I like that. I was gonna say, go ahead.
I was just gonna say in Commander Shepard, just because he's the fucking man.
Yeah, Commander Shepard's awesome.
And just for the record, all you haters out there, my Commander Shepard is a dude.
Well, yeah, because you picked the dude. Like, you can Commander Shepard. The part of the beauty is you can have Commander Shepard do whatever they want.
That's what I'm saying. Like, like in Knights of the Old Republic, people are like, my Revan was a girl. I'm like, well, cool. Mine was a dude.
Right. You can choose whichever you'd like.
Right.
For me, I think Kratos from the God of War series has a really cool story. I think.
Yeah.
Like his backstory of like being a Spartan general, and then like he's basically made a deal with the devil, aka the God of War, to like be able to conquer all his enemies, but like the god fucked with him, and like when he was in this like rage mode fighting, he made him like rage and accidentally kill his wife and kids. And then punished him by like being like, oh, see, you like don't deserve this power or something, and made him wear the ashes of his wife and child on him for all time. So that's why he's all white. And then he goes through and gets vengeance on the gods of Olympus with this power that he was punished for abusing, I guess, which is pretty cool. And then the new ones are even better, I think.
I loved Thor in Ragnarok. Like,
yeah. I have actually not played Ragnarok. It's sitting in my PS5. My only PS5 game. Well, that's not true. I have some FIFA year on there downloaded, but My only PS5 game, because I was gonna play it on stream and then the timing didn't work out.
Like, he's introduced like 10 minutes into the game, and
No, I know,
it's just a phenomenal cutscene.
Yeah. Oh, the intro cutscene I've seen. Yeah, I played like 2 hours of it.
Okay.
But I didn't get past like the floral planet with the hot springs yet.
Mm.
It's like the first, or not planet, but realm, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite and the Burial at Sea DLCs. She has a cool story arc too. Her or the player character Booker Durboy. That whole story is just really interesting to me.
Speaking of like reverse escort quests, I mean, like, Booker's not getting anywhere without Elizabeth.
Oh, definitely not. No. You're escorting Elizabeth, but really she's like she's fine. Like, she can't die.
She's the one that's escorting you, like.
Right. She's just throwing you ammo constantly and like opening up rifts to like help you with enemies. Yeah, she's escorting you.
But I agree. Burial at Sea, especially episode 2, was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, especially if you liked the first BioShock game, to go back to Rapture in the DLC for Infinite was wicked cool.
Just them wrapping up the entire story by coming full circle was.
Yeah, that was Chef Kiss. That's one of my favorite. Like, I almost want to go back and play that game on my own.
Really?
Just because. Yeah, it's that. You didn't play that, Marcus?
What?
Infinite, like all the way through with the DLCs?
No, so I told you. So I liked it. I got to like the last fight where you're on the ship.
Yes, you couldn't.
And I was playing it on medium, and like, I don't know what I had going on, but like I couldn't beat it, and I got so frustrated I never played it again.
I think it took me literally like a week to beat that boss. The last boss
fight. Airship fight.
Yeah.
I got through it. I don't even remember how.
I remember having to like run around and like use a rocket launcher strategically, but then like you couldn't be inside for certain portions. That was like my first experience with like you really having to learn the dance of the game mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those would be my answers for sure. Wes, did you answer this already? Favorite fictional character?
Yeah, I totally answered this and have totally come up with an idea of like, I don't even know how I would narrow this down.
There's so many good ones.
Yeah. There's so many good ones from so many different like franchises and different forms of media. It's like, what do I go for? I
like Vegeta too as a aside. from
That's
Dragon
why
Ball
I was
Z.
keeping it to like video games.
Yeah, because if I start broadening that horizon, I'll be here all day answering this question. You can just give a quick, I don't know, a couple things in your brain, maybe.
I guess an easy answer off the top of my head is Asuka from Neon Genesis or Evangelion, because
who?
Asuka Langley from Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's an anime. But like,
okay,
she has this whole story arc of like striving for perfection and just always just slightly coming up short of it. And like, that's something that I've always struggled with, was like, I want to do something as good as I possibly can. And even if everybody else is like, yeah, you did a great job, if it's not perfect in my mind, I feel like I failed. So like,
yeah,
watching her struggle with that and throughout the entire series of that, I'm just like, yeah, I feel that. So
that's cool. I totally can.
I don't know if like necessarily her story is like the best, but it's definitely something I could identify with. So
yeah,
like, it was special to me.
Hell yeah, that's the type of stories that, like, I don't know, they mean the most because you can relate to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Atrax also asks, which video game has the best music?
I'm just gonna go ahead and disqualify Final Fantasy 14 because nothing else could compete with it if I left that in the running.
Okay.
So I'm going to, and I'm also biased, but I'm probably gonna go with like either Doom or Metal Hellsinger, because it's like those are just $60 metal albums with the game that comes with it. Like,
yeah, especially the two new Doom games. The Doom 2016 and then Doom Eternal. Yeah,
and
they're
like
that's fantastic.
And that's the thing with Metal Hellsinger is like it's an indie studio, so like when I first heard of it, I'm like, oh, okay, this could be cool. And then I listened to the soundtrack from it, and I was just blown away. They got a whole bunch of various metal vocalists to come in to record songs written by the studio, some music team. So the game or the dev has the copyright, and they're just like, stream our game. Like, we did this so that you don't have to worry about any copyright infringement or anything like that. And what's so cool about it is the music team at the studio did such a good job of catering each song to the vocalist that they had singing it that it sounds like their band wrote the song. Like,
wow. Well, that's cool.
My particular favorite track is the one that plays during the last boss fight. It's Surge from
System of a Down?
System of a Down, yeah.
Oh,
and I mean,
cool.
The song just, it sounds like a System of a Down song. It's just ridiculous.
I love System of a Down. It's very interesting. Marcus, did you answer?
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I was going to say shout out to special mention to Pokemon, just because it's like iconic. Everyone knows those songs, you know.
Sure.
Last question from Atrax: breakfast burritos or breakfast sandwiches?
Breakfast burrito.
See, I think I eat more breakfast sandwiches, but I like a breakfast burrito better.
I'm gonna have to go with sandwiches because of how white I am. I don't think I'm allowed to like breakfast burritos.
Oh, see, I love breakfast burritos, but I like spicy stuff too.
They are good. I think more sandwiches, like you said.
Yeah, same. We've got a bunch of questions from Ryu. Marcus, what's the first one say?
If you could have one superhero's powers, what powers and why?
Iron Man's a good one.
I just want money. Like,
yeah, that's true. I would go with. You would usually say the Flash, but today I'm going to go with Homelander. Although hopefully I'm not. I don't inherit the personality. Also,
I was going to say
no, it's just
the superpower of unlimited power and extreme racism. Go.
Yes. No. If you could have one superhero's just their powers, so like not their personality. So like you could fly. I got laser vision. I have like crazy extreme hearing, so I can like hear people's heartbeats through walls and stuff. That's pretty cool. And like you're invulnerable to like everything. But Marcus, thoughts? Superhero powers?
I'm trying to think.
It's hard not to pick like teleportation or like flying to me. You know what I mean?
No, I would say Gambit.
Gambit.
From
you
the
can throw
X-Men.
cards really well?
Well, you can make bombs. Like you throw it and like flashbangs, essentially.
Okay.
I like that.
That's cool. I always used to love Gambit. He's got like the Cajun accent in the cartoon.
Hey, mon ami.
Right.
I could also go with some, like, lets me make clones of myself. So I can just be like, hey, you go work now, and I'm going to go do other stuff.
Right. All right, you're the worker clone. Good luck. Ryu asks, who's your favorite movie villain, superhero or non-superhero? That's a great call. I mean, great villains in movies. I can just start rambling if you guys jump in whenever you think of something. But first in my mind was the Joker from Heath Ledger's the Joker. Very good Batman. Oh, Batman has a lot of good villains. I'm gonna go with the Riddler from The Batman. That is a really fucking scary superhero villain. I enjoyed that movie a lot. That was cool. I also think like Sauron or like the orcs from Lord of the Rings are cool. Favorite villain outside of that? You guys got any ideas?
See, the problem is I don't movie a lot, so my frame of reference is very limited.
My favorite movie villain is the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah. All right.
Hands down.
No, yeah, that's the gold standard. Rayo also asks, what's your favorite Disney movie? And follows it up with, what's your favorite Disney song? Favorite Disney movie? I mean, the Star Wars ones count? I guess
can we include Star Wars?
Then I guess Rogue One. But my favorite classic Disney movie is probably The Lion King. Yeah, I watched it a lot as a kid. The Lion King and Hercules. And occasionally The Little Mermaid. You can tell how old I am from those references. But favorite Disney song, I'll go with Hakuna Matata.
For favorite Disney movie, I'm gonna get to go with Emperor's New Groove. Like,
Emperor's New Groove, great choice.
that was probably my favorite movie as a kid.
Wrong level. I watched that movie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus? Favorite Disney movie and song?
Oh, song.
It's gonna be kind of fucking dumb because like I watched it so much, it's just iconic for me now because of my kids. I would
Okay.
have to say my favorite Disney movie is Frozen, and my favorite song, I fucking forget the name of it. It's from the second movie. I must have sang that fucking song with my kid 1,000 fucking times.
If it's the one I think it is,
No, it's not. It's from a later part of the movie, but yeah.
Ray asks a direct question only for Marcus. Marcus, how does it feel to be the only nerd on a different platform? He's on Kick.
So currently, I'm on the only one. More to come.
Or maybe
Because
that will change.
Well, the way I look at it is this. I'll just talk about the nerds. Us. Myself and Atrax.
Yeah.
Myself, Atrax, and Nick. Like, we've already put in a bunch of work to get people to create accounts. We talked about this earlier. So for Nick to come, the community's there. So, like, people
That's
will
true.
come.
It's easier.
Now, is he going to grow on Kick? Maybe. But, you know, I don't know, like, I can't speak for Nick, but, you know, are you streaming because you're trying to grow on Kick, or are you streaming to be able to play video games with the community?
Right. Yeah.
Doritos asks, Wes.
All right. Hold on. Who answered who asked that question? Was it Doritos? Doritos asks three questions for Wes. How does Savage rating compare to Nightmare rating?
It's it's hard to directly compare them because I would say there are some aspects of Nightmare that are more difficult than Savage, and then there's some aspects that Savage was more difficult. I almost like to call Final Fantasy rating more methodical, because everything is more of a dance. Because the way the fights work in Final Fantasy is everything's on a timeline. It's completely disconnected from how much health the boss has. Like, you can literally just walk yourself through the entire fight without even hitting the boss once, just to, like, learn it. Everything's going to happen along the timeline. So a lot of the mechanics are very complex, but once you know them, you just have to know how to handle them. Whereas SWTOR, a lot of the mechanics are simpler, and then it's just either just a numbers game, a sheer numbers game, or like reactions, or like knowing which cooldowns to use when, for like when Kefis crits your face off. So yeah, it's hard to directly compare them, but I mean, they're obviously both the high-end difficulty of raids.
Right.
Whereas, and I think they're also on different scales, because every 8 months we get 4 boss fights for Savage.
What?
Yeah. But it'll usually take, like, that, those 4 fights will last the full 8 months until the next tier comes out, kind of thing.
Okay. That sounds reasonable.
Each fight is, you just go in and fight that boss. You don't it's not like a connected instance where you go from like one boss, clear some trash, go to the next boss, clear some trash, go to the next boss. Like, the fights are meant to be trial and error. Like, you die, it just resets and you pull again. Like,
Right.
you'll be going, I think like the world first teams have like upwards of well over 150 wipes on bosses trying to figure them out. Like,
Yeah, I would imagine they'd want to like either win or lose. Like if you're gonna lose fast. If you're trying to go first, so I'd imagine like once you fight, you figure out like, oh, I took too much damage. We're not gonna clear it anyway. Like just die.
yeah,
Just wipe quick.
basically. Or like someone slips up a mechanic like three mechanics in, you're just like, oh, we just refer to it as walling it because like usually all the arenas have, if you walk into the wall, you die.
Oh right, yeah.
Because there are oftentimes mechanics that will fling you into the wall if you don't do them right.
Right. So Doritos also asks for Wes, is Chocobo a type of is Chocobo a type of chicken?
I'll have to consult my friend Paramer. He is our resident chicken expert.
Alrighty. What's your least favorite thing to do? Or sorry, least favorite thing about Final Fantasy 14?
Least favorite thing is whenever you go back into old low level of content, you get down leveled to be the level of that content, which means you lose your abilities. So
that sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Like, you get all these fancy abilities at the high level, but then if you go back into old content, which, I mean, obviously you're going to get more often than not because just in natural progression of the community, there's more people at lower end stuff.
Right.
So you often lose your abilities. Certain jobs or classes change drastically in their like playstyle and rotation as you level up. So then you have to like, there's one, the Black Mage in particular, that your rotation changes basically every 10 levels. So
right,
you have to kind of remember like 5 different versions of the job, depending on what level of content you get.
That's intense.
Crazy.
That is crazy. Well,
the one thing.
Go ahead.
The one thing I will say that is different is how the servers work for when they're raiding.
I hated that when I first started, but I've gotten used to it by now.
So Nick, like when a circle goes on the ground and it's pulsing, you actually have to be like a second or two ahead of the pulse, or you'll still get the damage. Where like
weird.
when the move ends, it's still pulsing. Yeah, it's weird.
So yeah, like a lot of the time you have to watch like the enemy's cast bars because it'll show the telegraph, but like if you were in the telegraph when the cast bar ended, even if you've moved out of it, it'll still hit you. It's
That's
just
annoying.
because their server tick rate, and I assume that this is one just legacy because the game originally came out in 2010. I want to say,
yeah.
They use a 2.5 second server tick.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's kind of jank, but at the same time, it's very stable.
Yeah.
So once you get used to it, it works. But it definitely takes some getting used to.
Right.
I guess another thing I don't like about the game, for the sake of like this is what happened when Marcus tried playing it, is the content is gated by the main story.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to go through several hundred hours of story because I feel I don't want to recommend skipping the story because it's really good, but it's very long. And if you just want to play the game as an MMO, you can't because you have to go through the story to unlock content.
Right, that's tough. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. If you're already an MMO person, want to just like dive into the meat and potatoes, if you will, the end game stuff. Like you should be able to skip that.
Well, you can buy. That's the thing, is you can buy a story skip, but
yeah,
you still have to go through the most recent expansion, which I mean you can just skip all the cutscenes, and that speeds it up some.
Yeah,
I think like my first playthrough of Endwalker took 70 hours, and then subsequent took like 11 from skipping all the cutscenes.
Oh wow. Damn.
But yeah, you can't. It's not a game where you can just pick it up and go and play endgame content with your friends right away.
Right.
Which stinks.
Yeah.
Like, so when I played it, okay, like I enjoyed the shit out of the game, but because you're locked behind the story, what happens is you're stuck. You're stuck. How do I say this? You're stuck playing through the whole story, and the problem is you can't just play one character through the whole story. You have to like switch characters because you get to a point in the story where you're out leveled the story and now you're not getting XP. So now you have to go backwards and start a new job, which, like, let's say you're going from DPS to tank. Now you have to take that tank, level them, but get them to this content spot, and then you start leveling again. But it's the same actual character you're playing, but it's just a different class. And there's a whole lot of fucking mumbo jumbo. But the problem is what the game does really good is it teaches you how to play the game throughout all of this process. Like, the game forces you to do these things called alliance raids, where they're like 24-man raids, but you have to do them for the story. But it is also teaching you the mechanics of the game for the future, where if you do the level 80 skip, you're not going to even understand mechanics of the game, and you're going to be doing like standard issue raids just dying because you didn't play the game. And the problem is in order to play this game, you need to like this is the one game you play, and you need to play it their way in order to get it to the point where you're at the newest expansion. And then once you're there, it doesn't matter because you'll always be current. But in order to play the game, you have to give yourself 300 hours to catch up.
Yeah, it's a very big upfront investment. I mean, I'm biased. I would say it's worth it, but yes, it is a huge investment of time that if you don't have, it's really hard to get into. And like Marcus was saying, that like if you skip the story, you're thrown right into the end game. You didn't have all this time to learn the mechanics of the game. And that's actually one cool thing I love about Final Fantasy's fight designs is they'll have a new mechanic and it'll be called something different. It'll have different particle effects, but it will still behave relatively similar to a mechanic you've seen in the past. So like you can be like, oh, this is kind of like this mechanic, so you solve it this way, kind of a thing.
Yes, you're right.
And so like it's a very fun to learn the game. Again, it just takes a long time to do so.
Yeah. Are we ready for last couple questions from Doritos?
Sure.
All right, so he asks, do you sneeze in sets of 2, 3, or 4?
I only sneezed once, and it's a big one.
I was gonna say, full send.
Usually, if it's like the repeating, it's just 2. But yeah, it's 1 to 2 for me. Doritos also asks, gas grill, charcoal grill, or pellet grill?
Blackstone.
I'm gonna say after eating the barbecue from last night, I'm going pellet. But usually for myself cooking, I like gas. How about you, Wes?
This is gonna be heretical. I'm not a huge fan of grilled food because I just have this weird taste sensitivity to anything like burnt charcoal. Like any form of sear or anything on food, just it overpowers everything else for me, and I can't stand it. So,
all right.
Like I said, it's heretical, but I actually don't like grilled food.
Jesus. Yeah, I couldn't disagree more. That's like my favorite way to cook. But anywho, Wes, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was fun. Nice to talk to you guys again.
Hell yeah.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of Working Class Nerds.